Well, hey there, it's Liz Rohr from Real World NP, and you are watching the Real World NP YouTube channel. We make weekly episodes to help save you time, frustration, and help you take the best care of your patients. Hey there. I hope you're having a great week so far. This feels like the longest January of my life at the time of this recording. There's been a lot going on in the US, and I hope you're taking really excellent care of yourself. I know that I'm doing my best over here. So I wanted to let you know that we're going to be taking a hiatus on the podcast for the time being. Behind the scenes at Real World NP, we're doing a couple of things. First is we're working on becoming an accredited organization for continuing education via ANCC. It's a bit of a lift. It's a little bit of a process. So that's where our time and energy is being put right now. But the other thing I wanted to share about is we're also working on a few other things to better serve you behind the scenes. So one is that we're working on some new courses. And so the ANCC accreditation, what that will let us do is create more courses that are accredited, that come with continuing education credit, a lot easier than the other route that we were going, which is basically accrediting one course at a time. And it's a bit of a process for each course. Anyway, this will be much easier and allow us to create more. And so in the interim, while we're also working on accreditation, that's so hard to say, we're working with a couple of clinician collaborators on different course related material. So one of my goals with Real World NP, I know I talk a lot about bridging the gap between grad school and the real world, right? Like what are the things that we're missing from grad school or we feel like weren't covered as strongly as we would have liked before we got to the real world, or the things about the transition to practice where it's like billing and coding, or how to supervise your medical assistant, or how to deal with the challenges of working in healthcare every day, right? Like those are some really big gaps that we need to cover. But the other thing that I've talked about a little bit is bridging the gap in primary care and specialty practice. So I think our healthcare system has a lot of challenges, and I don't think that we're going to fix those individually today, tomorrow, but I think that we can do our best as individuals to give the best care to our patients. And so one of those ways is we can, educate ourselves, but when we collaborate with the other providers in the field, it just makes it more efficient and cohesive and less redundant. And I think honestly, just more satisfying and fulfilling in our practices. So because like in the practice of medicine, my opinion is that it's fractured, and we operate in silos where there's primary care, there's a specialist doing their own thing. We don't necessarily have the best communication. There's overlapping tests, things like that. So that's one of my goals with the next steps forward with the company, with Real World NP, because when we become an accredited organization, like I said, we'll be able to offer more course material. But the other thing is we'll be able to bring in more specialists to help us bridge that gap. Like, how do we learn about cardiology topics within the kind of perspective of being a primary care nurse practitioner, right? Like, I don't know if you've experienced this, but I've definitely experienced this when I do continuing education. It's like kind of meant for everybody. It's like, do you practice in the hospital? Do you practice in primary care? Maybe you're a physician, maybe you're a PA, maybe you're a nurse practitioner, right? So that's one of the things I'm really passionate about. So yes, so we're working on some courses. We're working on becoming accredited. And then the other piece that we're working on is we still want to support you in your clinical practice while the podcast is on a hiatus. And one of the things we're looking at is doing blog post articles on various clinical topics, career-related topics, role transition topics to support you with whatever it is that you're managing right now. And so we have a couple of people, but we're looking definitely for more clinicians to write clinical articles. And like I said, those other career role transition related articles, but primarily we're looking for clinical articles. They're about 500 to 850 words. They're paid projects. You could do a one-off article, you could do multiple. So what we're looking for is, whether this is you or someone that we're looking for people in primary care and specialty care, nurse practitioners, physician associates, physicians, physical therapists, occupational therapists, things like that. So if you are interested in something like that, we would love to have you, but I'm just very excited to start sharing some of those. They're collaborative blog posts that are really still in the ethos of Real World NP, and that really focus on being comprehensive, concise, and really to the point, and practical for primary care providers. So anyway, if you're interested in that, I'll put a link down below. The best place is probably to go to realworldnp.com/contact. But like I said, links down below, and we'll be looking for that ongoing. So please spread the word if you have like rock star clinicians that you're just like, oh my God, they're such a good teacher. They know so much. They're a walking textbook. I just want to download their brain. Like we're looking for those people who are also interested in teaching, because there's always a teaching element to when we're sharing about clinical topics here. And on that note too, I mean, if somebody is a walking textbook or a really good teacher, sometimes people are more interested in sharing through interviews or through podcast, through course material versus writing. So I just really want to build the community of clinicians who want to do really good work and are really passionate about medicine and teaching and the joy of medicine and the magic of it. And so, yeah, if you know people that are, good people that you are really excited to work with or learn from, please send them our way. I've had the joy and pleasure of being an educator at Real World NP, but I also want to spread the joy to all the other brilliant minds in our field. So anyway, hopefully we'll see you soon, but definitely if you want to stay apprised of what's going on, whether it's course material or these articles, blog posts, head over to the email list at realworldnp.com/guide. That's the best way to stay informed. You'll get our emails. We don't send spam. You can unsubscribe anytime, of course. So yeah, I hope you're taking really good care of yourself, and yeah, bye for now.